I'm going to critique the Hollywood Hills mansion with a mountain lion, and I'm going to give it an Arvin score at the end of the video. So if you decide to buy a property in Hollywood Hills or anywhere else, a party house, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
The pursuit to find the best properties in the world leads us to unique places. And today, it brought us to this exquisite home.
When you come to Los Angeles, when you come to California, I think this would be the house that if you had a really cool friend or a friend that hit it big, this would be their house.
Today's estate features unparalleled 270-degree views, exquisite materials from around the world, and a safari-themed library with a secret room that will dazzle the senses.
This is really ground zero, and that's why we named it the Californication house.
We have a tour that's exciting, different, and centered around the love of architecture. And I cannot wait to show you.
What's so unique about this area is how close the vicinity is from the main thoroughfare of Hollywood and Sunset up to a view that goes all the way from downtown to the ocean.
Okay, let's dig deeper on the location. Look, here's the good things about the view. If you literally want a party house that you're closest to the nightlife, being this east, closer to downtown, not just proximity is closer, but also your downtown LA views get better and better. It gets closer and closer and closer. However, most luxurious hillside properties, the most expensive ones are west, away from downtown, away from Hollywood. It's just the way it is. It's, the demographics who can afford it are significantly richer than over here. So in this area, you would definitely, for the right buyer, it's the right location. But this house is certainly the A house in a C neighborhood.
All right, everyone, welcome to this incredible property. I'm beyond excited for today's tour. We have the gate opening up to the spacious motor court where you can park 10 to 12 cars. But more importantly, look at the views you get from your motor court. This is incredible. We're here in Hollywood Hills. That's downtown Los Angeles, all the way to the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, so you arrive sideways to the house, okay? You don't have a frontage. The house is literally sitting on the street. But there's two other elements too. You are sideways to the best view, downtown LA view. So when you're going to enter the property, you're not going to see the best view. And the two most iconic, the twin views of Century City is on all the way on one side, and downtown is on the other side. And the middle is kind of just, city view, your regular, everyday city view. So as good as the views are, they're not really center.
This is your arrival experience. I mean, phenomenal. We have African slate walls wrapping the perimeter of the motor court, and the same slate was also used around the facade as well, where we have the garage door opening up your spacious 4-car garage. And look at these tall walls giving so much privacy to this entry.
Okay, this African slate was a super risky material to choose. To me, it belongs more on a movie set than an actual facade of the property, but they're going to kind of create this cave-like temple masculine facade and going against this white box look, which I really like. I really like that they're trying something different, okay? As a critic, I appreciate it. But pay more attention to what they're achieving here. You see, this is a long house. They're trying to fix the entrance. Otherwise, you got to go through the garage to enter the property, right? So they're trying to center you to the property, to the view, and it's a long house, so they're fixing that. But also, they're playing with this concept of palette cleanse. It's giving you a very minimalistic or consistent palette of these slate stones. And then when you open the door, it's the release of, you would see a ton of different material, colors, fabrics, maximalism, and views, right? It's resetting, prepping, cleaning your palate. So when you take that sip of wine, it will hit, and it hits really hard. You'll see.
We have a custom door here, 2 line sculptures, and they use the same onyx on the threshold here as well. Very nice detail, and it welcomes you to the foyer. To my right, we have a door opening up to the mudroom, which also leads to your 4-car garage. And now let's take everybody to this side where we have the great room. It consists of seating areas, dining area, kitchen, and the entire space opens up to a beautiful deck with an infinity edge pool.
Did you see that? Did you feel it? Like that walkway, just kind of setting the mood and resetting everything, and then the release. That's a very interesting concept you can play with when you're designing your own house. They've achieved a very good wow factor, both internally and view-wise. It's a very open space. It's really 2 rooms with the divider. You get the volume, you get that indoor-outdoor flow in a bachelor masculine, but a complicated, sophisticated tone, right? It's like somebody who's gone through life. It's not like a 20-year-old bachelor. It's a 45-year-old bachelor who never got married and traveled the world and went through a world voyage. I really call it like the most interesting man. I envision that as the avatar who is, wants a really eclectic, sophisticated home.
Now the first space I want to cover is the seating area right here. U-shaped couch, gorgeous coffee table. I mean, look at this live edge wood slab. You have all these gorgeous accessories, built-ins on this side, walnut cabinetry.
Okay, pay attention how many different textures, materials they've used. It's a lot. And this eclectic look is not easy to pull off, but they've tied it really well together. I have to say, their palette, as busy as it is, it definitely goes. Like, there's not like one element that you would be like, what the hell is this doing over here? If I was going to call out one element, it would be the slate African that is kind of, movie setish vibe to me than actual residence. But overall, I think a very good execution of an eclectic, busy maximalism look.
Now, while I'm here, I want to talk about the specs of this property for a second. We have 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, approximately 13,000 square feet of interior space, on the market for $38 million.
And it has not sold. Now it's on the market for $34 million, and here's why. There's another new construction right next to this property, and these 2 properties came on the market around the same time and were competing with each other. This one is way more bespoke than the other one. That one was a lot more typical of a modern house you would see in LA, and that one sold for $17 million, significantly less than this property with almost identical square footage. Now, this history of this whole area, that's Stanley Hill, if you want to call it, there was a property that sold right behind these properties, and it was designed by Lenny Kravitz, okay? And this property sold very, very quickly after coming on the market and really ignited this little nook of a promontory hill and the properties around it, because it showed that at this location with this view this far east, it's possible to get a big exit. But the difference was that that property had a way bigger backyard and better views than both these lower properties.
Now with that, I want to take everybody to the other side. These vein cut travertine floors look beautiful, and they have it throughout the entire great room. And now let's talk about this dining area. Live edge solid wood table, seating for 12, gorgeous chandelier above. On the other side, we have this incredible fireplace. It's wrapped with green jade onyx
that matches the vein color in the jade with the rug Enes is standing on, with the chandelier that is behind them, and the color of the candles on the table. Beautiful, but extremely hard to pull off. You see, one of the number one things you have to do is pick out the color of the veins correctly and match it with the other finishes in the property. And they have done this extremely well, right? They have really connected this. This is an extreme overload sensory. This back paneling brass mid-century element design. And then you have green onyx and you have an orange rug. The first glance, you're thinking, Arvin, how could they introduce so many different material and still the palette it's cohesive, it looks together, it fits in. There's cross connection. There are cross pollinating materials, colors, palettes, textures that brings it together. And I think it's beautiful.
Now follow me this way. We have a small hallway here that takes us to the elevator landing. There's a door at the end opening up to a powder bathroom. They use the same green onyx to frame the vanity there. And on top of that, they curved the other side of that powder bathroom beautifully with this plaster wall. It's just a nice, fun detail.
You see, it's not really a detail. I've reversed engineered Goosebumps into an equation, right? The 10 principles of quality that I talk about, I'm going to grade this property at the end of the video. This is one of the elements. When you're choosing finishes, you have to understand, you have to have that scale, right? Are you going too angular? Are you going too soft? This white wall not just acts as a separation in the bathroom and everything. It achieves so much by being curved and white. It's really, it's the piece that makes everything else work. And it doesn't get the attention. You will walk right past this.
Another lounge area to my right, travertine floors. Then we have beautiful hardwood floors here with chevron pattern. And look at this kitchen. It is stunning.
Did you notice David Bowie's picture here and the door handle when you walked in? That's called continuity. That's the first thing. When you open that door, at the end of the wall, you're going to see this. It's a very old, far away painting, but your brain will subconsciously pick that up when you open that door handle and you see that mark on Bowie's face. Beautiful.
Same green onyx is also used here. Massive vent design above. Your incorporated gas cooktop with a griddle. Everything you need. Flat panel cabinetry, so it's very minimalist. And at the end, we have the built-in freezer and fridge.
Pay attention to partitioning, okay? This long floor plan has been partitioned only once in the middle, and over here you see another partition going to the other side. That's how you do a long house. You only partition it in ways that make sense, and you divide the spaces in a way that is very natural to avoid hallways. Going through a hallway completely kills the vibe, right? And this way you've got the maximum amount of indoor-outdoor flow with the outside because of view property without any hallways, which is fantastic.
We have a concealed door here opening up to the chef's kitchen. Follow me in. They use travertine as a countertop as well as the backsplash here. 2 dishwashers, sink, upper cabinets, wolf gas cooktop with a tucked in vent above.
I think I would have gone with stainless steel counters. I think you could have done that on a kind of a modern contemporary party house. And I just reviewed this property called Crown Jewel of Bel Air. They did a really beautiful stainless steel chef's kitchen that I think would have worked really well with this. I think it would have got more utility cleaning and maintaining the chef's kitchen, which is really the dirty kitchen, much, much better.
Now let's jump back to the kitchen so we can continue our tour with the lounge on the other side. Again, vein cut travertine floors, beautiful seating arrangement, U-shaped couch, curated accessories. Look at that chandelier for a second. They also have the same wood plank ceilings here, and the entire section seamlessly opens up to this patio.
Let's talk about the privacy, because there are a bunch of houses that have a direct angle of sight into your backyard, and that's never good. In general, just having privacy issues is not good, which is a great segue for the sponsor of this video. Incogni. Incogni is a company that is dedicated to cleaning out your data off the internet. And if you're getting a ton of spam calls, which I was, and also your private information, your address, your phone number, personal data, your medical history, they all exist. And these data brokers buy and sell and trade your personal data like candy. And they don't even just go out for you. They go after your family. So when I was watching a YouTube video, just like how you are right now, and I saw an ad for Incogni, I signed up. And I can tell you, I would not have sponsored them if I didn't believe in what they do. First of all, I signed up for the family plan. So I got my family, my brother, my wife, my in-laws, all in this family plan, and they've done magic. After signing up, I got significantly less spam calls on my phone. My phone number is public on the internet and people can call. And I saw a significant drop in that. But more importantly, they cleaned my data. All this kind of sense of security everyone wishes to have, they fight it back for you. For you to be able to go and actually do what they do, spend hours and hours sending letters because they legally there's a way to fight back. And Incogni is dedicated to that. They have a great dashboard where you can go watch how many data companies hold your data, and you can watch them fight it. And it's so satisfying when I check it once a month and you see there was 600, 500, 400 companies and 300 of them don't have it anymore. And you can see how many are pending. And there's a new feature where if you find a particular website, you can actually add it to the list and they will go target that particular website that you're requesting to. It's amazing. I've already used that feature very, very recently. The link is in the description. Give them a holla. I have turned down over a couple $100,000 worth of sponsorship because I either didn't use their service or they were gimmicky. I can tell you Incogni works, and I'm very, very happy with them.
Now on the other side, we have a beautiful piano, small dining area here. Again, the entire corner opens up, and this is actually the exterior door that opens up from your chef's kitchen. We have a gong here. Off camera, Cody was really excited for me to hit this, so I'm doing it for you, Cody.
Thank you.
And our viewers, nice and subtle. And now let's continue our tour on the other side. Sliding glass doors open up to a really nice standalone office. Some built-ins, warm textures.
Do you see how they fixed the longhouse issue by bringing this area to the outside and not even connecting it to the main house? It's really important because this is how you fix a longhouse. Okay, I teach that in my 5-day workshop, but this is a prime example you can learn from. By allocating an office or a guest house at the end, you make the longhouse shorter. So you have less stuff to work together on this side or stack after each other to not create hallways or connectivity issues. This is brilliant.
All right, let's continue our tour. Again, great room to our left. We have the pocketing doors fully opening up, seamless transition to this patio, lounging beds, space heaters, speakers. They also have misters here, which is fantastic. And if all that wasn't enough, you even have your own binoculars to look around the city. Nice detail. Now, Cody, follow me this way. Let's talk about this infinity edge pool.
Before we do that, we should talk about the views. Look, unobstructed, I don't mind the palm trees. It actually gives character to the view. Jetliner view, but the focal points are, you got to be cross-sighted, like one eye is on this side, the other eye is on this side. That's a shame. Right? You can't do much about it. But the most important thing about this patio is that it's a patio and it's not a backyard. And the $33 million Lenny Kravitz house had much bigger backyard than this one, and it was more of a promontory with a better view.
For view homes, I actually love linear view homes, and it's facing the absolute perfect direction in that south-southwest. So you get the sun that rises in the east, sets in the west. There's nothing blocking your view. You're right above the palm trees, so you're a minute off of Hollywood Boulevard.
He's right about the exposure, by the way. It is south-southwest, so you're going to get the natural sun. You're going to watch the sun almost come up, but you would certainly see it set. Beautiful as far as the exposure goes, natural light. You're going to be lit.
The conceptuals of the house and the vibe of the house was we wanted 1960s James Bond. Think Thunderball when he was in the Bahamas.
We tried on this project to really harken back to mid-century masters of John Lautner, Harry Gessner, Richard Neutra, and others that really created this thin plenum profile. And so my favorite part of the design of this house was trying to create what is very significant structural members that have the largest single opening in the city of LA or even Southern California of 85 feet.
You see, not just they've paid homage to Richard Neutra, John Lautner, they've taken their ideas. The skeleton, the silhouette of the house is very mid-century. They've taken those ideas. They have not copied it. They've elevated it. They've made it their own. And one of the most lovely things in the design, the property just gets lost into the background. It doesn't stick out. It really looks like a cave opening. It blends in with its nature, which is a really significant element when you even look at Frank Lloyd Wright's work, right? Like blending with nature. And when the nature wasn't there, they've created it with landscaping, with the slate African stones, right? To create that setting that this is a cave. By far, exterior-wise, and interior-wise, it's the best looking house, at least. It might not have the best lot or the best views, but it's probably the best house on the whole hill.
Now let's go check out the lower level. Floating steps, slate bowl, brass screen, and this staircase brings you down to the lower level lounge, which is fantastic. The millwork, furnishings, details here.
And pay attention to the mountain lion. This is like, again, do you see what I say? Like, this is like the most interesting man's like house. You see all these like tribal village, international sculptures and art. It's just out there, but it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me. It definitely actually resonates. It's cool. I think it's very, very cool.
This section is the focal point of this seating area, and below this art installation, we have a mountain lion taxidermy. This piece was put here to pay homage to P22, a very famous, iconic mountain lion that is known to spend most of his life here in Los Angeles. I believe the lion died last year and they buried him to Griffith Observatory, but to pay homage to that,
They killed another one, brought it over here. Okay, I don't think they killed one. They found the dead one, maybe. I don't know. How did you get a real mountain lion in there?
and now you may be wondering, is that it for the lower level? The answer is it's not, because you press the button here and a latch releases because the cabinetry actually swings open and it takes you to your speakeasy nightclub. First, I want to show everybody the spaces that we have here. This door opens up to the elevator landing, and we have another room here which is your laundry room with 2 washers and dryers. We have the first powder bathroom to my left, but I want to quickly show everyone the second powder bathroom. Love the wallpaper here. Black toilet. You have the floating vanity with a big stone reveal.
Really cool. I like when people experiment in powder rooms, right? The place to do it, bring life. And I mean, if you hadn't done this in a property like this, then where would you do it, right? But it, again, lands right. Like you see how like that orange has always been a theme, like that palette of orange and green. That was a huge statement, like bringing that in, continuing that in throughout the house. It just gives you that like 1960s, 1970s vibe with mid-century architecture, but in a cave, you know, interesting way.
Now let's go back to that hallway again so we can check out the nightclub. Beautiful green velvet wall and ceiling panels, herringbone hardwood floors, and welcome to the nightclub. What a space. I mean, seriously, the ceiling height, decorations, lighting, disco balls, mirror panels on the back, tiger onyx stone DJ booth. I mean, this space is incredible. I don't even know where to begin. Every single corner has unique details, built-in seating.
Okay, so what I like about this nightclub, it has more of a lounge vibe to it than actual nightclub. You do have the disco balls and all those elements, but sometimes they when they're designing a nightclub for inside the house, they model it after a real nightclub in a club, where people in reality who are invited to a single family house to party, most of the time a lot of people know each other. Okay, it's rare that you might have some people that don't know each other, but it's more of a let's all hang out together vibe. I like the fact that it's more together in that sense. I think the most important part is the dance floor, which I don't really see it because I guess there are couches everywhere. So where would you dance, right? But overall, much better than a lot of other dance floors I've seen or nightclubs I've seen in other single family homes.
Welcome to this amazing bar. Of course, a nightclub like this calls for a custom bar, and the fabrication here looks beautiful. How they angle the stone. You have your bar seating. Same velvet panels continue on the ceiling, and on the back, you can see that they brought the slate to the interior. Glass open shelves, cabinetry on the bottom, sink. This tiger onyx is beautiful.
I don't think so. So I think the tiger onyx was too much. The reason they didn't continue the green onyx upstairs is because they decided to introduce the green velvet, which I think was a brilliant choice. And they use this color and fabric in their branding. Brandon and William uses in their office. And so we were very familiar with the color in LA, but I think it makes it way too busy, introduces a whole nother element, and just really takes the class out of it. I would have used raked, unfinished travertine. I think it would have got so much better than this because you had all the color already. You had all the elements already. What would have really looked cool was a little bit of texture and sophistication that really this lower level lacks. And I don't think this tiger onyx is party at all.
Now, we also have sliding glass doors here, pocketing into the walls and opening up to a really nice outdoor space. But before we go out there, I actually want to bring everybody to this side. Pool table, again, same green velvet panels are also here, and I just love this color. And then steps taking you up to this elevated section where we have the movie theater. Look at this space for a second, how it's designed. Massive lounging beds right in the center.
Now, this is a little bit overdone on the green, but I'm paying attention how relaxed it is. I'm not talking about like the actual finishes and everything. This could be incorporated to your house in your family room as a instead of having a movie theater, a separate movie theater, you could have a family room that looks more like this. It's more of a media room. I'm personally against movie theaters unless like you're in the movie business or you have so much square footage to kill. What I care more about is having a media room that actually gets used. And that means being integrated with the living space. This is a prime example of how a movie theater, a media room can really integrate with the rest of the house and actually be used, right? It's not intimidating. It's not getting in there and trying to turn it on. This is very casual, very usable, connects to the outdoor, connects to the bar, fantastic space.
All right, Cody, let's continue. Room gets better. We also have a game table here or a poker table, light fixture above, and then you can just flow straight to the outside because we have sliding glass doors opening up to the patio. It's awesome that this property takes advantage of the outdoors on every single floor.
Okay, what we didn't see was a wine cellar. Okay, a proper wine cellar would have been good. A cigar lounge would have been good. That game room was kind of a wasted space. I don't know how often you would use it, but overall, fantastic downstairs.
And can you imagine spending your evening here, walking out to this patio and enjoying these views the rest of the night? It's incredible, and we're not even done with the lower level because on the left wing we have two guest suites that are side by side to each other. Both come with king size bed.
Okay, before we get to these two guest bedrooms, by the way, which I really like the separations from the main living space, right? Like having a whole level, a floor separating your guests from your main quarters where you're staying is super, super important. But what that downstairs really lacked was a dipping pool. I would have really liked, if you want to kind of escalate that and kind of take it to another level, that you had a dipping pool. If you did have a party, you didn't have to go upstairs to jump in the swimming pool. You could have just jumped into that dipping pool, right?
We have the first guest suite here. Love the color palette, 2 chairs, hardwood floors. You have your walk-in closet. Around the corner, you have a full bathroom with a walk-in shower, and then your sliding glass doors seamlessly open up to a really nice patio where you can enjoy these views. And also we have the second guest suite on the other side. I'm just gonna walk right in. Same detail that we saw at the nightclub is also here.
Do you see that kind of yellow orangish tint in that wood floors? Like they've not let go of that palette, that orange green palette from the onyx. Again, it continues throughout the whole property and really ties the vibe of the 60s, 70s together with that onyx. Beautiful execution, really, really cool. Good bedroom distribution so far. I'm imagining there's 3 bedrooms on the top floor. Let's find out.
Let's go toward the second floor of this property. Massive skylight behind me, bringing natural light to the landing. To my right, we have the elevator landing, hardwood floors, same travertine border detail is also here. And we also have a small seating area shared by the 3 bedroom suites that we have on this level.
Okay, I would typically say it needs 1 more bedroom at least on this floor. But I genuinely also don't see this property as being a family house. I mean, it would be one hell of a cool family to purchase this. I just don't see a family purchasing that. And for that reason, I significantly see someone, maybe either a bachelor who might get married, and this house would even do for the first baby or maybe even the second baby initially, and they would transition to a more like a family friendly property, or an older person who might have older kids that they would want the separation. So it doesn't really bother me for this particular property. And the only reason is that design wise, it's so particularly catered towards one demographic that you really have to rip the entire house and take all the value out of it, which would be worth significantly less than what it is, to cater towards that. So I don't see that buyer ever being attracted to this property.
Now, to bring more natural light and natural air to this space, they've designed this cool patio, open on top, sliding glass doors stacked to this side. And I also appreciate how they brought the slate to this section as well. So you get this really cool backdrop, and it also provides great cross ventilation to the second floor. Now we're going to continue our tour with the first guest suite, which is on this side. Again, hardwood floors, king size bed.
Privacy issues, and this is not ideal. Like, there are only a few homes, but they do have a direct line of sight.
It opens up to an amazing patio or a balcony dedicated to this guest suite.
And let's talk about side setbacks, because we haven't really talked about lot orientation. Again, for being a long lot, this side of the property on the lower level and even on the upper level, you have a very good setback with your neighbor. And it also kind of sticks out, right? The way the topography of the land, that your neighbor, the one that sold for 17 million and change, is really over here. It's not just behind you on your side of you, it's behind you on the side of you. So great setback. I like that. And pay attention to the continuous orange theme here, okay?
But before we check out that space, I actually want to take everybody to the other side because we have the walk-in closet here, all walnut cabinetry, and if you follow the same hallway, it takes you to the full bathroom. Now let's walk everybody back out to the room so we can check out the balcony here. Again, seamless transition to the outdoors. They brought the same slate to this side as well. AstroTurf, outdoor seating area, glass railing throughout, and you have these phenomenal views. I really appreciate the fact that every single room, every single bedroom in this house opens up to the outdoors. That way you can interact with your surroundings and just take advantage of these phenomenal views.
That's the benefit of a linear home. You see what I'm saying? The long house, as long as you get your entrances right, so you divide the spaces correctly so you don't have too many hallways, all of them are opening up to the view, especially if you have an open view or you have a golf course or you have an ocean view, right? It helps you open up. If you really create your entrance where you put the stairs, the connectivity, and your entrance is in the right way, you get to use the views from everywhere.
Now check this out. That cantilever section right there is your junior primary bedroom suite, and it looks incredible. The fact that this entire section is floating up in the air makes your experience that much better. I mean, seriously. Can you imagine waking up in the morning, rolling out of your bed and walking out to this seamless balcony with glass railing? The city is right in front of you.
I mean, all balconies are seamless, Enes. And you won't feel like you're cantilever, like you can't see it. Like the fact that it's cantilever doesn't affect your experience while you're walking in the room. You're not cantilever, the floor is. Okay, you don't feel that. A great bedroom. I think the most important element here is the compression and release of the ceiling of the edges, right? That black part of the ceiling that opens up. It's really inviting natural light, and it just kind of a release, right? Like optically, once you get closer and closer, the sky opens up. It's beautiful. Again, it's something very subtle that you wouldn't know what happened to you, but it will have an impact. It will open up your heart.
We have the walk-in closet here. Going back to the entry of this bedroom, to our right, we have the full bathroom. Comes with a floating vanity, travertine floors, walk-in shower, skylight above, pretty much everything you need. Now, leaving this bedroom and coming back to the landing, I want to take everybody to the other side. We have this door opening up to the primary bedroom suite, and this space is designed so tastefully. I'm really excited to show it to all of you. Now, off of the entry, we have a small bar area with a fridge. Burnt orange leather suede wall panelings line this entire hallway, which then takes you to the bedroom itself. We have the massive walk-in closet here, but first I want to take everybody to the primary bathroom. Without a doubt, one of my favorite spaces. The way this room is designed, laid out, the material selection here is so exquisite.
Okay, so again, I'm really glad that they reintroduced the onyx here. It works. I think it's, again, zen for a shower. It works. What I don't like, and I think it's just, again, too much here, is the vein cut travertine on the floor, okay? And they had that on the counter as well. I would not have used this. I would have gone with a more minimalistic. I think you've made it too busy here, okay? Obviously, hardwood floors would have been much harder because this place gets wet, but I would have gone with a wood tone, okay, and let the onyx do the talking and not distract from these really vein cut travertine that really draws the eyes down instead of keeping the eyes up towards the view, towards the onyx.
Now I want to actually take everybody to the other side so we can check out the closet. Where do I begin with the details of this closet? It's scale. I mean, it is so exquisite.
Scale, it's kind of narrow and long. I hope there's more to it.
Now let me take everybody to the other side. This is the second section of your walk-in closet. Comes with a smaller island. Again, walnut cabinetry throughout. Definitely good size. And the opening here leads us to the bedroom. Without a doubt, one of my favorite primary bedroom suites we have ever toured.
Like, what the hell? Like, it's around 1970s, 60s. It goes, right? And the artifacts. Look at the shadow of this kind of a Egyptian artifact statue over here. I think one thing is really interesting is that in this design, they've realized that the downtown LA view is to the side. It's not a focal point. By creating a round bed, you could orient yourself towards the view. So when you wake up, it's right in front of you.
Burnt orange leather suede wall panels, wood clad ceilings, green onyx on this side with a massive gas fireplace, wall sconces.
Do you see how wood floors look so much better next to this onyx, that travertine, like vein cut travertine? Much, much better.
Now, let me take everybody to the other side. Primary bedroom suite also gets this dedicated patio where you have an outdoor seating area, fire pit, travertine floors, glass railing throughout.
It's the side yard. You see what I'm saying? Like, even though you don't have the frontage, you don't have the motor court, right? You have really two great side yards. I think, and that's what you get with these linear long lots. At least this side yard is really cool with a view of downtown LA view, right? Okay, now let's score the property. I'm going to give the location a 7. It's Hollywood Hills on a dead end street, but you know, it's not the best part of the hills, right? Like, if you want to view property, you can choose from, you know, Lower Bel Air to all the way to this area, or even Los Feliz if you want views. And this area is just not considered the most prestigious, and it's, for me, a house in a C neighborhood. Lot quality. This is a tough one because it's a long lot. It's a really long linear lot. I'm going to give it a 6.5. Lot utilization. Okay, you have no frontage. You have no private driveway. You have 2 good side setbacks. I'm going to give it another 6.5. Privacy. From the right side of the property, you have security issues, and you're also right on the street. I'm going to give it another 7, okay? Lot orientation, you're southwest facing. I'm going to give it a 9. Architectural style, I'm going to give it a 9 for innovation. I think the fact that they took a mid-century design and added on top of it and then matched it with the interior style was very, very risky, gutsy, and they delivered. Views, I'm going to give these views also a 9 for being unobstructed, 180 degrees, and have the 2 focal points, but just off center. Layout, it is a long house. The wow factor is there. The bedroom distribution for the style is okay. I would say this is actually a good example of how doing a long house right. I'm going to give it an 8. Scale and volume, it's another 8. Finishes is a tough one because I think it really deserves a 10 for what they've done, how they've executed the style. They were not scared to spend money. Everything was bespoke. As far as understanding where to execute what finishes, where to leave that, I think the most brilliant thing to me was that leaving that round wall white. Right? I think that really just showed how much they knew and how they executed really well. And I'm going to give it a 10. Now, here's the Arvin score. If you want to see the Lenny Kravitz house in Paris, you got to watch this video. It's a case study. It's a really, really interesting video. You can learn a lot from it. And if you want to join the Buyer's Lounge, link is in the description. I go Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the comments. Take care.